Hey, what's up guys? It's Parnellyx and we're playing more Warwick top lane today. Just, you know, your normal throwback commentary here. We're playing against Ksante. This is a matchup that I actually really like in Warwick, by the way. Runes, I like to go grass page with double armor. I've been liking double resist a lot more against most matchups these days in Warwick. I think like the extra just resist allows you to kind of play a little bit more ruthless. It kind of makes up for like the Doran Shields nerfs as well as Grievous Wounds being stronger. So you get some sort of tankiness like early on if they do build anti-healing versus you. And I think it's just, I think it's honestly just a little bit better in terms of just getting to play, allowing you to play aggressive in the early game. You can see actually this game, I'm opting for D-Blade into this Ksante. So I don't have the defensive power of D-Shield, but I think I can kind of afford it because I have enough resist. Right here, so I get this early gank coming in on me with the Ivern. And really key thing about Warwick top lane just in general. Sorry, I did not mean to start this recording late. Didn't really explain too many things. We're just kind of getting right straight into it, but I was very prepared for this gank. And as you can see me double killing them early on. That is like one of the most like key fundamental things to consider. It's like the biggest difference maker between feeding on Warwick and dying to every gank and 1v2ing and carrying your lane. It is really just preparing for jungle ganks and just like thinking about like what is a gank going to look like. When this Ivern, if this Ivern comes right now, knowing that he is pathing towards top, what is that situation going to look like? And if I think that I can outplay it, then I can be willing to play more aggressive. If not, then maybe I should opt for a ward, or I should just pull back and play a little bit safer. So right there, I was willing to go aggressive. Now, it was very coin flip, I'm not going to lie. That was definitely a very close call in general. I was kind of concerned about getting kited from Ivern, and the concern was very real. I got a little bit lucky there, but at the end of the day, I did play it very, very well. So we ended up getting the double kill. And now, this right here is a perfect example, though, of why I really like the Ksante matchup. I do kind of limit test this a little bit too much. I'm a bit too low here. But it's fine, it's fine. So we still do manage to get it to work out. But you're able to just like ruthlessly trade versus him with grasp. Like Ksante's damage early on is not that strong. Usually he's able to out trade a lot of champions like with short trades and stuff, but Warwick just out trades them and also out sustains them. So you can play hyper aggressive versus Ksante. Right here, I do something really cool. This is something I like to do when I am like kind of shitting on a laner. If I'm able to like kill them early on, and I know that the jungler isn't topside, I just do this. I do exactly this. I try to, because there's a big wave that this Ksante has to get to. He has to get to it. So even though I don't end up killing him here, I still actually end up making him miss a lot of minions. Just because of the fact that he's kind of like having to deal with me. He wasn't able to walk straight past me. He had to try to juke me, maybe hit me back a little bit. So he still missed a couple minions. Plus I chunked him. Diving him and giving away a bounty there was honestly a terrible idea. So one of the reasons, by the way, elephant in the room, I haven't been posting much recently at all. I haven't posted in like a month. And there's a lot of things that go into that. One of the reasons is just because I've been kind of bad for a bit. I have not been playing very well, and I make a lot of mistakes. And when I'm trying to like pick a game to post on YouTube or like, you know, throw in on like a guide, I feel like that I just like make so many mistakes, and I don't really want to like kind of showcase all those mistakes. Because like I want to showcase like how Warwick is supposed to be played, like the optimal level, and not just like one of my like, you know, average games that are, or games where I get kind of lucky. But honestly, all of my games have been kind of that way. That's something I've realized. I've been trying to well, the last month I've been trying really, really hard to you know, record a bunch of clips to prepare to make a 2-hour top lane Warwick guide. Similar, you know, similar to like Expedios guides. I made one on Warwick top lane before, like how to 2 hours Warwick to master tier or whatever. Trying to remake one of those guides. However, I've just, yeah, like I said, I feel like a lot of my games, I'm just making lots of mistakes constantly, and it's really hard for me to find a good game to, you know, I guess to kind of educate you guys. But I think I just kind of suck. And I'm doing like, I definitely like have great games. I definitely play very well, but like, as in terms of like consistency is concerned, like a lot of the games that kind of go, you know, are normal, I'm still just making a lot of glaring issues. And I think that's honestly okay. I think I should be willing to post more of these type of videos where I'm just like, you know, maybe I carry or whatever, and it's a fun game to watch, but at the end of the day, I just, you know, got lucky a couple times, or even just kind of inted and threw my lead, because that's really what happens a lot of the times. I mean, even right here, like this just right here looks like nothing special. Looks like, you know, I'm just kind of destroying him, which I am. But Ivern could have easily ganked me there. I definitely played like I definitely coin flipped this, so that kill there on the Ksante, and there's like no need to. When I'm up 5-1 on Ksante, I don't need to play, like I don't need to coin flip any kills. If it's a 50-50, that's just a terrible idea to go for. I'm up 61-20 in CS right now. I need to be going for like certain kills and making sure that I'm not throwing my lead. That's a huge problem that I have, is that I have a tendency to just play too over aggressive at all times. And like my over aggression is really good when it comes to like getting a lead and pushing a lead, especially if I'm like not getting camped. If I have the enemy jungler is not like, you know, in my lane, in my face, then I am going to win lane almost every single time, because I just know how to trade really well. But when you're this far ahead, like if I go for a 1-for-1, like that turret dive earlier, that's not an even trade. Or if I die to a gank here, that's just, that like risk throwing away everything that I've been working towards this entire laning phase. Because just how the comeback mechanics work in League and everything. And just with how Warwick snowballs, it's just not something that you really can't afford to go for. Right here, I do actually successfully sniff out the Ivern gank. I mean, I saw him kind of heading this direction. And I'm trying to kind of pull his attention this way without getting caught out and dying here. I do get ulted by the Ksante. And I honestly didn't expect. Now this right here, I exactly what I'm talking about. I literally got caught out and died. Like I traded 1-for-1, but it's clearly not worth it. That this risk throwing away my entire lead, and so that this is exactly what I'm talking about. Although I will say, in my defense, I did not think that Ksante was going to be able to knock me back there. I didn't think he was, I don't know, I just didn't think his CC was going to last long enough for me to get knocked back and then for him to ult me back. I just didn't really think that interaction was going to work that way. So kind of learning. I haven't really played against Ksante's recently, ever since the champion got nerfed, so I'm not really aware of his like new like CC timers or whatever, but just kind of something to throw out there. But yeah, I think for my YouTube channel, by the way, I'm going to try to just post more of these just commentaries, classic commentaries I posted. I mean, that's how I kind of grew my channel to begin with. Well, I guess I really grew my channels through guides. But I've always made my subscribers happy by just posting just commentary videos, just showing me myself playing League. And I think I need to do that more. Simply put, it's very easy. I obviously don't have to edit this video. All I have to do is post game commentary. I don't really like to commentate during the games because I just, sometimes I can do it, but usually I just suck at playing and commenting at the same time. So that's kind of like the issue with doing that. But at the end of the day, it's pretty easy for me to make. And the reason why that matters is because I have a full-time job these days. I graduated 3 months ago. I have a full-time job where I'm actually working like overtime a lot. So during the week, I basically don't have time, and I'm also really tired during the week to, play or to, have to worry about editing and just making really good videos. Like I at the end of the day, I just need to just relax. And by the time I get to the weekend, I'm because I worked all week, I'm not trying to spend my entire day editing. I don't want to spend like 5 days of the week working and then spend my Saturday working as well, essentially. So that's kind of my struggle right now. And it's like everything is like fine. Everything's going fine in life and everything. It's just I'm trying to like figure out what to do here, just because of the fact that I really want to push my YouTube. This year, like my goal this year is to really just push YouTube and try to post consistently. And I haven't been doing that because when it's like Saturday, I've worked all week. I just don't want to edit videos. I want to play League. I just want to chill. I want to just have fun and kind of just decompress a little bit. And especially when like the video idea is not super clear or requires a lot of editing. Like I said, trying to make a 2-hour Warwick guide requires like 5 or 6 games of like that I can commentate over. Honestly, and it also is going to require some editing with what I wanted to do. I think I'm just setting my standards too high for what I want to do instead of just making a mediocre product that has a good information. I'm just a bit of a perfectionist is basically what it comes down to. So that's kind of the story of everything. But we'll try to just post more. We'll just try to simply post more. And like I want to make like really good quality videos, but I should only make good quality videos when the idea is clear and I just am prepared for it. I shouldn't like try to force it, I should basically be posting more filler is basically what I'm saying. I should be posting more filler content so that we're more consistent with everything. But yeah, as far as like this season has gone for me so far, it's up and down. My ups are not where I want to be. I want to be challenger. I have not been challenger this season. When I'm challenger, I make it clear I'm challenger to you guys. Not challenger right now. I've been grandmaster a couple times, but for the most part, I've been sitting at like, I kind of rotate between low master tier and like high master tier, and or really mid master tier, honestly, as of late. So not very good. Here's another example of me getting caught out for no reason. Now I will say my teammates are smurfing. This game's obviously a bit of a stomp. I really just wanted to show like kind of the laning phase versus Ksante. At this point, we're just kind of winning. We're just winning across the map. But yeah, I think the Ksante match is pretty interesting. I just want to show you guys how aggressive that I tend to play, even if I do tend to play too aggressive at times. But I think that's yeah, like this season I started off playing mostly jungle, and which I think Warwick was really good early on this season, and I also think that I was playing very, very good in the jungle, especially at the start. Like my first week on the season was amazing. I was playing the best I'd played in like a full year. It was absolutely popping off. But then I started like tilt everything and kind of reset. But lately, I've been playing mostly lane Warwick. I've been playing, I'd say, mostly top lane this season. One of the reasons is because Warwick's just bad right now. I haven't really like mentioned this on my YouTube channel, but I talk about it all the time in like my Discord or Twitter, or just kind of think about it. Warwick's not in a really good spot. He's been indirectly nerfed multiple times. He actually definitely needs a buff. His win rate is like 49% in the jungle, which a champion like Warwick is not supposed to be 49% in the jungle. Like Warwick's always been balanced when he's like 52%. Hell, he's been balanced when he's 53% win rate. No, his play rate doesn't skyrocket. He's not banned heavily in solo queue. He's just naturally like, a champion that's usually just fine. 53% win rate, 52% win rate, doesn't break the game. But when he's at 49%, it's a bit of a problem. And like I said, it really just comes down to nerfs to items like Jack Show. Divine has gotten a lot of indirect nerfs. With plated steel caps recently getting buffed, that's a big nerf to Warwick. You could argue it's a buff for him because he does build it, or he has the ability to build it. But too many of Warwick's abilities just got hit by plated steel caps change recently, so that's pretty annoying. Grievous wounds is probably the biggest nerf that's happened as of late, especially for lane Warwick. Lane Warwick, actually, really both versions of Warwick, but both jungle and top. The reason why it's such a big hit to both jungle and top lane is it actually hurts his scaling quite a bit. The fact that everyone's able to build Grievous Wounds so easily. Because one of Warwick's best builds has been Divine Sunder, Blade of the Rune King the majority of the season. And that's post Jackshot nerfs. Post Jackshot nerfs, that's been the best build. Your Divine, boring. And it was really, really strong early game, really good mid game power spike, and then even late game it's still pretty good. But now, like most of the survivability with that build really came through all the lifesteal you got. And now if you have so much Grievous Wounds on you, that's really, really easy to apply, then all that ends up really meaning is that Warwick no longer scales with that build. He has no survivability. He has damage with the build, but he doesn't have tankiness. And therefore, you're just really, really weak in fights, team fights, and duels as well. So you just fall off really, really hard. Like, Warwick scaled very, very strong for most of the season, or early on in the season. Past like month or two, he's pretty terrible in terms of scaling. And he just doesn't have the items. He doesn't have the items that you would like to carry game. And then on top of that, the Grievous Wounds is buffed. Plated Steel Caps is buffed. Yeah, so Warwick's not really in a good spot right now. I still think he's fun. I still think that he's... Like, I enjoy Warwick more than I enjoyed him last year. And that's like... And Warwick's win rate's a lot worse than it was last year. Like last year, his Warwick right now... Or sorry, his win rate right now, like I said, is 49% win rate, which is like his third lowest win rate, I believe, since his reworks come out. So over the course of the last 6 years, this is his third lowest win rate, close to his second worst win rate. And he is honestly due for buffs. I would not be surprised if he got buffed soon. Hopefully, if they do buff him, they actually try to fix his core problems, such as quality of life issues, and not just buff his numbers. Buffing his numbers is exactly what he doesn't need. I mean, well, he does need number buffs, but like, or he could use number buffs, but he doesn't need number buffs. He needs quality of life fixes right now. He needs bug fixes. Fix those first, and then we can worry about the other stuff first. Because if you can like make the champion smooth, fun to play, and just more balanced, more reliable, everything else is a lot easier to deal with after the fact. So that's what I'm vouching for here. But yeah, I've been playing mostly top lane lately. Top lane, jungle. So jungle I haven't really been playing since the last patch. I haven't played much jungle in the last month or so, I'd say. I've been playing a lot of mid lane as well, and I actually one of my viewers who is in my Discord mentioned to me that he's trying to learn a lot of mid lane Warwick, and I don't really have many videos on that. And I'm just thinking, like, I've kind of thought about this like a long time ago, actually. Not like a long time ago, but like a couple months ago. And yeah, like I've been playing a ton of mid lane Warwick for the last like 2 years at least, maybe like 3 years, and I barely have any videos about it. And I'd say I'm an expert at Warwick mid lane. I think that I'm very, very good at Warwick mid lane. I understand the champion in mid lane, and I have 0 guides covering that. And that needs to change. That's like pretty like troll. That's like really. That'd be like if the boss didn't have 80 Scion on his YouTube. He only had like tank Scion videos, but didn't have 80 Scion videos. That's basically what it'd be like. It'd be completely griefing for his YouTube channel, and it's just. I think it's like. It's just something that just kind of needs to be covered in my channel. I know I want to cover top lane and jungle because those are very popular roles. It's kind of one of the reasons why I don't cover mid lane. On top of the fact that I'm trying to hit challenger in mid lane again before I cover like a guide on it or whatever. because there's still like some questions I have in the mid lane. Like I'm not fully sure about how to play certain matchups. I'm not fully sure about the best play style for carrying in certain situations. But I think like it doesn't really matter. Honestly, at the end of the day, I can still post some of these type of videos, these commentaries showing me playing mid lane Warwick, and I can post a super guide when I hit Challenger with it if I really think so. But like at the end of the day, like I should be posting so you guys at least know what the hell I'm talking about when I'm talking about mid lane Warwick, because I basically don't post about it, and that's like kind of like it is mind-bogglingly stupid that I'm not posting about it. Also, one thing I want to mention this game as well. You notice that we're running Ghost TP this game. The reason why we're going TP, I normally don't run TP right like these days. Don't really like, not like a biggest fan of TP, but I like TP this game because they don't have like any champions that's like barriers good for me to run verse. And on top of that, like just with how like this lane, like they have a pretty weak early game jungler, a pretty weak laner. Well, Ksante's typically not a weak laner, but he's not someone who's going to do like, he doesn't have too much kill pressure versus me in particular. So because of that, I don't really need barrier. And also the enemy team comp, I don't really do well at all versus the enemy team comp unless we're this far ahead, which we are this far ahead, so it's fine. So I think TP is like, it gives me like the ability to just split push. If we're not stopping the game, I can just go ahead and split push the game. I grief there. Pretty hard, not gonna lie. We'll just pretend that didn't happen. So yeah, this is the reasons why I like TP. I think the split pushing opportunity on it is very nice. On top of the fact that just like barrier just doesn't really look like it has much benefit this game. As far as items are concerned, so yeah, we'll go Divine versus Ksante. I really like that. Also, Titanic Hydra, so that we can just push out the lanes. I like to be able to push out the lane and then rotate. That way I have prio into fights and setting up for objectives, stuff like that. After that, I went for Abyssal Mask. Abyssal Mask, it's one of those items that you don't really build many games, but when you do run into situations where it's good, it's really good. And these are one of those situations. You'd like to go Abyssal Mask if the enemy team is heavy AP and your team is heavy AP. And that's exactly what we got here. Our only AD champion is Kaisa. Their only AD champions are Ksante and Vayne. But they got 3 AP, technically speaking. So Abyssal Mask, really good value. I'm also going for Serpent's Fang this game because they have a bunch of shields. And with Titanic Hydra, I'm able to apply anti-shield to like a big cleave when I'm attacking people. So it's really good synergy, Titanic Hydra and Serpent's Fang. And that's why we're opting for Serpents this game. Even though I don't really like the lethality. The lethality is not really the best stat, but you still get AD, and you just, at the end of the day, the anti-shield is just a lot of damage. So we take that for sure. Right here, I was trying to kind of just, when my teammates are sieging, Warwick's very bad at sieging. So in these type of situations, I usually try to push out side lane and threaten a flank in the when a fight breaks out on the siege. I'm just like here. But then I realized after this fight, or during this fight, during my death timer after this fight, flanking here is pretty terrible, honestly. There's not really like I technically could like flank the Vayne, but they just have too much CC, and we just need to play front to back. This is a game where we just need to play front to back. They're able to kite me out. They deal too much damage to me. I don't really offer anything for this flank. If I'm just hitting the front, helping my team hit the front line in these fights, we just win the game. Flanking puts us at risk of something like that happening, where I just get bursted. We're essentially cut from the team, and I don't have access to really any important targets anyways. So there's just no reason for me to go for this flank. I actually do adapt for the future fights. I learned my lesson right there. Luckily, we're super far ahead, so I didn't have to It didn't like completely throw the game, but it is like something you always got to think about. It's very, very important with Warwick to consider what is your role in these fights. Like, what is your win condition? Like, think about it, not just your champion. Think about like both teams as a whole. What does their team comp need to do to win fights? What does our team comp need to do to win fights? Compare the two, and then figure out how you can slot in to improve the success rate of that. Like, for example, if all of their kills were on Vayne this game and everyone else was useless, obviously it's just kill Vayne. Like, I got everything, I'm saving everything for Vayne, and that's been my game plan. But right now, like, their kills are kind of spread out. It's like, if I kill Vayne, it's not going to like necessarily win us the fight. What's going to win us the fight is Kai'Sa staying alive and just having heal. So that's what I just have to opt for this game. But now we're just going to go ahead and just try to maybe push the win here. This, I was actually kind of mad actually at the moment as to like wondering why this wasn't coming. But honestly, he's smart here. Because he's bringing in the mid lane wave. He knows that's our team should not die in this situation. So now we just have more minions to get off this Baron push. And we're just looking to just go ahead and end the game now. And I'm just kind of going ham. I know that as long as I'm just like, we're constantly fighting here and I'm tanking the turrets, we should be able to just kill everyone and end the game, and we do. So that's nice. But yeah, there's Warwick top lane versus Ksante. Kind of stomped his ass. My team was winning across the board. I made a lot of mistakes this game, like I said, but you know, there's a lot to learn from all those mistakes. Let me know what you guys think of this video. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Have a good one. We'll try to be posting more frequently in the future.